All right, I think tinkering around with that for far too long, I have come up with a spot for the camera. So, welcome. McKenna here, 1884 Stitchery. I am in my new digs. So moved in to the boyfriend's place about a month ago, and this is my office. A little smaller than the office I was working out of at my place, but this is definitely temporary. His place is definitely not big enough, and so we've already come to the conclusion that beginning of the year we might need to be start looking for a bigger place. I need a bigger office. We need a spare bedroom. Call me picky. The house is great. It's a wall. You got a place to live. I don't mean to be all negative Nancy, but there's some things about the house I just don't like. And probably number one, live directly across from a school, and I can't enjoy with this window being open because I hear the kids playing and screaming all day long, being on different recess schedules. So I can't with the kids hearing them. So Jesus, McKenna, you woke up on the wrong side of the bed. I am back. Stitching to show. New start. I'd show you a finish, but I've already... Actually, did I show that in a video? I don't know if I was here yet when I showed the finish, but it's at Michael's, so that's being framed, so that will be able to be seen in the next video. But leave tomorrow morning for Florida for a week for birthday celebration. Yes, 3 days. I will be 40. I was telling my mom that I remember when I turned 10 and I described like our kitchen table and the birthday cake she had made and where I was sitting in the kitchen, and it was like, oh my God, I'm not going to be single digits anymore. I'm going to be double digits. And then that happened. Every year that first number changed. So then it changed from 1 to 2 and 2 to 3. I just remember turning 30 like it was yesterday, but it was 10 years ago. I went freaking skydiving. I was working at the fire department, and I pulled like an all-nighter for that, and then went skydiving the next morning. Like, I remember having like an existential crisis turning 29 to 30 because I was losing my two. My 2 was turning into a 3. Oh, God. But it's okay. It's okay. I can't stop it. All I can do is embrace it. And I think I look fucking fabulous for 40. So I'm going to take it. I'm going to take it. So, yeah, boyfriend and I leave for a week tomorrow. Clearwater area. Gonna meet his dad. And then we'll be driving over to Orlando. We're gonna do Universal Studios. I have like 4 or 5 cross-stitch stores I want to poke my head into. There'll be thrift stores, antique stores along the way. So all about that. So I will talk about all this towards the end of the video, which has been so helpful. Already built-in storage. So the people that were in this house prior to, we're just going to say his name, John. John's my boyfriend. Before John purchased the house, they had converted this closet, so took the doors off and put in this built-in thing. And it's amazing because obviously it displays my stuff, things I want to use for finishing, my DMC chest, which is perfect, and my dad. Say hi to Mr. Baxter. So, all right, so let's get into it. I had a new start because, let's see, last month, while I was doing the moving from my apartment to here, I was contacted by friend, associate, that she was downsizing, and due to her eyesight diminishing, she needed to get rid of all of her stitching stuff. So I acquired all of her stitching stuff. Then within a week and a half of that, I was sent a message, and somebody also here in the Phoenix area, I'm in Chandler, said, hey, came across this Facebook marketplace needlework extravaganza. Sister is clearing out her deceased sister's house. The deceased stitcher, amazing things. So I said I would come over and just take everything, and that's what I did. So in the craziness that a lot of people would call moving, I don't find moving crazy. This was my 17th move. Yes, I know I did like a 16% off sale. Then I went through my moves with my mom, and she's like, no, when I was born in Oregon, she's like, we moved 2 houses. So moving, if you need to move, I got you. I can unpack a box. I can pack a box. Like there's no tomorrow. Tetris that stuff in. So you would think, wow, you would not want to get your stashes. No, if the opportunity presents itself, which it did on both fronts, in both situations. So yeah, the downstairs of John's place was a little crazy, and I told him, get ready, because this is what you signed up for. So I have been working so hard the last number of weeks of getting up the inventory, and you guys have been absolutely amazing on adopting it and buying it and getting it out, which is the whole purpose of 1884. Getting stashes and getting these great old charts or whips out to you guys to finish them and to enjoy them and love them, put them up on your wall or do whatever with them. So going through all of the both Stitchers stashes, I rarely, you guys would think I have a massive personal collection of cross stitch stuff. I don't. This right here, this magazine, is a collection of charts I've put aside that I think I will stitch one day. And this fluctuates. Some get added, then I go through because I want a new start, and I'm like, I'm not going to stitch that, and I put it in my pile of stuff to be sold. But that is it. Oh, and I have like a binder here. That's it. So when I was going through a set of charts, I came across these designs from Claire Murray. I still have some available, and it is the chart with the fabric. This is Wild at Heart. Oh, so appropriate. And I freaking love it. I love the bright colors of it. It's something that I've never seen someone stitch, and that's what I love, is able to stitch things, work on things that I don't see 50 other stitchers. No problem with that. I have definitely stitched and worked on pieces that have been the favorite thing, but I like to do stuff different. So once I'm done with this chart, obviously it will go up for sale. But if you are interested in any of Claire Murray's designs, 1884 Stitchery. So it came with the black fabric, and I thought, I'm going to blow my freaking followers away and myself and stitch it on black. I did a half a stitch, and I said, F that crap. Not a goddamn chance. So, came upstairs in my personal collection of fabric and pulled out some Exju fabric. Yes, it's cut all wonky donkey, but it'll fit. This is the same piece that I stitched the Cinderella sampler on from, couldn't tell you who. But it is this like lovely sort of brown, but it definitely could have like a purple undertone to it. So yeah, that is where I am at, and I am loving the colors. These are, what are they called? Oh, God. Dripping Hearts, Dropping Hearts. What is the name? Anyway, these, I first came to love these at my grandparents' house. My grandma had them in her garden. Bleeding Hearts. So yeah, love those. So as you can see, that's just where I'm at, and I love it. So a ton of colors though. So I've been trying to color complete. Look at this list of colors right there. Insane. So I've been trying to kind of color complete, but then it gets to a point where I'm like counting too far, and then I'm like, it's not worth it. But I really love how this is coming together, and I worked on this last night and this morning. So yeah, and this is a 36 count. I was on a like 40 count for a while, and it's like, okay, some stuff looks good on 32, some stuff looks good on 40. I think 36 with one thread, because I'm a one thread kind of person, is what I think looks the best. But yeah, so if you've never tried 36 count 1/2, it's really nice. And Exju fabric, fantastic. You can find that fabric on Etsy. Let's see. John is somewhat of a, I wouldn't say history buff. He's a veteran Marine, and he definitely has an interest though in historical events and history, reading books from past world wars or Napoleon, stuff like that. So again, something that is totally not my thing. This is HMS Victory, and this is from Heritage Classics, or Stitchcraft Heritage. And they have other ships as well. But what's funny, I was going through a stash and I saw this and I pointed this out to him, and he's like, one of my prints, he has 3 of these ship prints in his bedroom. One of them is this HMS Victory. And then he also has a statue of the captain and knows like the whole captain's backstory on this. So I was like, well, then I freaking have to stitch this for you. So very not McKenna, very un-McKenna. But I've been stitching it off and on. So it's how the chart is broken into. It's like split in half, 2 pages. One section of pages is all the stitching, and then a whole other section of pages is just the back stitch. So it's been nice that I can, as you can see what I've stitched, go through, mark it off. It's a little more, it's a lot easier to swallow instead of being one giant, you know, road map and you kind of get overwhelmed. And since I don't have a thread going, I will take this out. So he does know that I am stitching this for him. I'm even stitching this on the called for fabric, which is 27 count, and I'm doing 1/2. So yeah. Oh my god, I've not seen like this. This looks so good, even without the back stitch. So now there are everything you could think of. Quarter stitches, half stitches, all those. I'm trying to figure out a way to fudge that. So everything you see here are all full X's. So obviously I'm gonna have to go back and see what I have to do, but yeah. And it's been actually really easy because, as you can see, like in the sails, they are blocks of color. So I think that's why I've been able to stitch on this and not lose my mind, because it's like, okay, the darker here, and then you get to the white. I don't know how many shades of brown, gray, and white, but yeah. So yeah, he knows I am working on this. And then when I was stitching on the other piece last night, he was like, excuse me, that's not what you should be stitching on. And I said, excuse me, there's no goddamn cross-stitch police. And he's like, oh yeah, I am. So also, I haven't even packed anything for our week-long trip. Laundry just shut off. I don't know what I'm even taking to stitch on. So he's gone right now, so I thought I'm gonna do a video. All right, up next, I also worked on Brenda Key's The Floral Sampler. I believe I still have a number of these are still available on 1884 Stitchery for $5. All Brenda Key's charts are $5. That's right. So I am stitching this on, well, hashtag Keys Floral Sampler SAL. I'm stitching with Stitchin' Mommy and a few other people. And I am cheating. I am not stitching, so this is all solid stitching. I am not stitching in the light green background color. No. This is 36 count. Do I have the tag? Nope. $36 count something. Oh, wait, is it right here? Nope. I thought I heard it. So, yeah, it's been really nice to stitch on. Of course, like everyone says, all the blocks seem like little finishes. These ones here, though, seem a little sparse on each side. So I don't know if I'll just leave it as is, but I feel like something is missing, like in this spot and down here on both sides. It's really nice, like band sampler. USPS is in front of the house. Who's sending me stuff? So, yeah. And then this is the start of the inside square. Oh, it's Amazon. Okay. This little part here. And what's really nice, it's like, see, it looks like lace. So yeah, if you are interested, feel free to join in DMC. But yeah, I got down to the bottom of the page and I was like, all right, I'm going to stop here. So good little, nice little ending spot. Okay. Oh, I'll leave that one. Mermaid's Folly. Another one of John's favorites. I'm stitching this with Cottage Garden threads. This is ink. So a dark blue with modeling of lighter blue, darker blue. Because I wanted something subtle, not crazy in your face. This I'm stitching, and oh god, the tag's downstairs by my stitching chair. This is Hardanger, 22 count, half stitch, 1/2. Now, why are you doing that? Well, it's a big piece, so I needed to figure out a way to cheat. So, Hardanger in 22 half stitch is amazing. I have stitched using that before on what's at my house and boxed up, but I stitched a piece on Hardanger and you couldn't tell that it was just half stitches. So look at this, people. Mermaid's Folly. I am just doing the woman and the creepy guy. So this is 12 pages total, and I decided to switch up projects after getting to that page 8. And I freaking love it. Love it. So you can see the modeling in the thread, very, let's see, very slight, but I think an amazing effect. Even in the border, you can see. And I am just stitching this willy-nilly. However, I don't care what colored thread I get, if it has more of a darker blue to it or a lighter blue, which end I'm starting on, where I'm stitching. I'm not stitching like a typewriter effect. I'll go up and down. I'll be like, oh, I want to go do this section. I'll do it here. I'll jump back down. So yeah, I absolutely love this. And yeah, I think it's really just 3 more full pages basically, because the last page is like not even half. Because I remember I took this to go get Cal from school, and as I was waiting for him, I think it took like 2 pickups and I like finished that page. So yeah. Now here is what the full chart looks like if you do it all. Emily Eclectic Possessions, she stitched this in its entirety. And years ago, I had started stitching it, and I was not, I don't know what made me stop. I don't know if I was just not in love with the fabric thread combo, or what. And so I decided I love this piece. And what I love most is the guy and the creepy girl. Now, why does this come so thick? Why is it such a thick chart? Because it is designed where basically you can personalize it what you want to stitch. So obviously there's all the charts, all the pages for the full chart, but then it's also printed out where if you just want to do the woman and the creepy guy, here are the charts for that. And then if you want to do like the dragon and the mermaid, okay, that's for here. Now this one. It's a love-hate, but I think I'm gonna keep going on it. Witchy Stitcher, The Difference Between Medicine and Poison, Grace Nost Fabric, The Gray Stuff, 36 count. Here's what it looks like. I mean, it's perfect. It's got skeletons. So it's only 2, 4, 6, 8 DMC colors. Fantastic. So nothing cray-cray. I first started stitching this on a lighter fabric that almost had a kind of urine yellow look to it. And I decided after I got the first full page done, I really want that skeleton, both skeletons, to really pop. So decided to stop, change up the fabric. So I went looking to see what I had, and I had bought fabric when I was at the New Jersey retreat. And so this is the gray stuff. Grayish tinge to it, but definitely more on the purpley side. And this down was all of page 1. So I restitched it. Absolutely love how it's looking. But I took this to work on during kid pickup. I don't know. I think I kind of burnt myself out because I stitched the first page on the first time around really quickly and then decided, shit, I don't like it. So then it was like, okay, I gotta re-stitch it. Fine, did it. But I think I kind of almost like burnt myself out with it. And I think my body, my mind is just like not there yet to come back to it. Now, maybe I just need to suck it up, sit down, and then maybe I'll come to like want to work on it again. So, yeah. And it is a quick stitch because again, there's only, what did I say? 6 colors DMC, and you can definitely color complete when you were stitching on the page. So that's satisfying in its own right when you can just color complete per page. So, yeah, and maybe I'm just not into that stitching right now with the colors, because I'm doing a lot of drab colors with the ship when I was stitching on the ship, and that's why I like this Claire Murray piece with the bright colors has been really, really nice. So, yeah, that is all that I have been, no, that's not true. That's not all I've been stitching on. I did get a finish in. So, as I had put in a newsletter and announced, Minnie Gray, YouTuber here on FlossTube, passed away earlier in the year. I want to say it was June. Family contacted me. I got all of Minnie Gray's stash. You can find what is left of her stash on 1884 Stitchery. I have a page dedicated to all of her stuff. So you go on my website, at the far right, you will see the tab that drops down, more. Click here. You scroll down and you will see Minnie Gray's Legacy. If you click on that, what I still have of hers is listed there, which is only 8 items. I have 5 finished pieces. Here's a chart that was in her stash with the fabric and threads. So if you're interested in seeing what is left of Minnie's stuff, go there. This was a piece that was in her whips pile that I knew I had to finish. I love it, the colors. So this is, oh God, Jardin Privé. What is this? The Embroiderers ABCs. So there were some things that I had to go in, like the stitcher didn't have a needle, and like there were some other like little, I think these I put in. So I just started at the top with the chart and just went through to see what she hadn't completed. It's a long piece. It's gorgeous with all these little, you know, details. Skeins. The hoop. Little sheep. The bow. The stork scissors. So I had to finish where she had, so then there's the end of the piece. So I did some like little things further up, but basically where I had to complete the piece was from like here down. So the ruler, the pot, all the little bands, velvet. And as you can see, just a long one and gorgeous. And pretty sure if you didn't want to do it in, you know, one long strip, you could probably look at the chart and figure out where to cut off sections, and then if you wanted to put them like side by side, yeah. But I was you know, I was thinking of Minnie when I was working on this. You know, I had the pleasure of being Minnie's friend and meeting her a number of times, and her coming to my retreats. And I just thought back to that day when she started this piece. Who would have known that, one, she wouldn't see the day that this was done, but two, that then it would be in my hands at the end with so little left to stitch. But I'm so thankful for how that all came together towards the end. Obviously not her passing, don't get me on that, but just that, you know, it was her wishes for her stuff to come to me, and her family contacted me, and we were able to work it all out. And then it came into my lap, and here I'm finishing it with, you know, a combination of her stitches and mine. So this will be going off to my friend Kelly. I don't know. I think this was even, these were in these two stashes that I came across. This was in one of them. So I'm going to do a wall hanging because I've never had a wall hanging. I don't have a wall hanging. So it'll be perfect. Yeah. If not in here, I mean, obviously I'll display it in here. So yeah, there is the hardware, and it's the perfect width across. So that'll be going to Kelly. Kelly, you got a box. I got a box start for you already. In May, we will be going back. John and I will be going back to Florida. My girlfriend Heather, who I go to Vegas with, we worked at the pet hospital. Her daughter is getting married. So again, going through Stitch Your Stashes and looking at the charts and like, I wonder if I would ever stitch this. This is absolutely perfect. French design, Rouge de Rhine. And they are doing ocean beach wedding. It's a destination wedding in Florida. So I will be stitching this for them and absolutely love it. I don't know, maybe I'll take this on trip to Florida. I mean, how fitting. And I really like how this does look. So on the sort of raw natural fabric, their last name would be a D. Obviously switch the date, but I don't know. That just came to me. I'll just see if I have any fabric that lends well. All right. The first stash that I was able to acquire, her taste. Amazing. Sophisticated, high-end. If it was samplers and stitching with silks and stuff like that. So I pulled 1, 2, 3 of these pieces. She had very few whips. So these ones are so close to being done, and I'm like, I have to stitch them. I have to stitch them. They're so close. They're absolutely gorgeous. So the only thing that is hard on this one, difficult for me to sort of decipher and figure out. So she almost had sort of pieced, I don't know if she was working on this and then took the threads and used them on another piece, but she did not just have like the piece, the chart, and the threads all together. So this is Chili Pepper Sampler from Samplers Remembered. I don't even have a photo of it because, again, it's like, well, maybe I do. The chart is like beaten up and folded. I'll show it to you guys because it is so close. You guys will basically get an idea of what this looks like. So this top section, or all, you know, these, let's just call them bands, you know, look, these eyelet stitches all the way across, right? Who knows if this needs to be extended. So obviously I'm going to have to go through the chart, figure out, you know, where she didn't finish off little motifs, whatever. But this is the bottom right here. There are a few like motifs, and that's it. That's it for this piece. So where I'm having an issue is that the Ziploc bag did not include the threads. So in the chart though, she had made notes. But I don't know what these numbers correspond to. The directions page was that it was stitched in soie de gire silk. Okay. But then like band 3, Algerian Eye, was used stitching DMC 598, but then, or silk 1721, but then she has other numbers listed. But I can't use the DMC colors because she didn't use the DMC colors. For example, like on the chili peppers going across, the DMC colors listed aren't even remotely close to those two red colors that she alternated between. And then she has these other numbers written out, and some have them checked off, or she has 207 crossed out and she wrote 208. So I'm gonna have to sit and figure out what this is in, what this is what conversion is this, and find then the closest colors to DMC, which I do have a DMC card. Obviously I have a full set. I was just hoping that I wouldn't get to the point where I would have to pull out the thread card and kind of like go through each number and figure out like, oh, this is the color that she used. So, but gorgeous nonetheless, absolutely worth whatever time I have to put into it to figure out what colors to use for each section. Totally fine with that. But again, finish that, frame it up on my wall, boom. Another piece of hers that I saved and started stitching on and pulled some of the DMC colors for. Again, this one is so close. Totally not my style, not something that I would start, but it's gorgeous. So the Ziploc bag had the chart which is from a magazine, and some of them she had made copies of, fine. And then a bag, which this is not, this says 32 count linen antique white. I don't think that's antique white, but these silk threads that somehow correspond to this chart. And this is the Spanish sampler. And holy stitches, but absolutely gorgeous. Love the colors on it. Just so unique and different. And again, pulled it out of the bag. And this is how much is complete. So, as you can see, I mean, there's stitches that I wouldn't even do. Look at the border alone. The four-sided stitch. We got satin stitches. This whole middle lion emblem thing. And again, she changed the colors. So when I first started stitching on this, one of these lions was like halfway done. I was like, okay, I'll start there and kind of work my way out. Well, the color that's listed on the magazine is not what she used stitching. So I had to come up to my DMC and figure out what color she used for the lions. And then, yeah. But look at, like, I mean, her stitching, just all this back stitch. Look at this blue ribbon. But it's like, how can I not finish this for how close it is? So, yeah, I don't know what I was going to say. But I've pulled some DMC for it, so I'm slowly working on this. So, as you can see, I have the two bottom corners to do, plus that four-sided stitch all the way around. Rather do it on one side than three sides. And then whatever is down there in that bottom section. So, for that, this. Let's see. So, here's a corner, there's the other corner, and then this is what I'm going to be in charge of doing. Which, satin stitches, fine, I can do satin stitches. Those go really, really quick. At least it's nothing like crazy, like this band here. This is the white parts are satin stitch. The inside parts are cross stitched fine, and then this is all satin stitched with eyelets. Yeah, with some eyelets, which, okay, fine. And just knowing that I only have to do one box of each of these is totally doable. But again, so close. I was just like floored when I was, because I went over to her house and she had all this stuff already boxed up, ready to go. I'm not going to sit and look through the stuff. I just don't have time. But seeing what she had stitched hanging on her walls and lifting some of the bins and seeing what she had, I knew that it was all good stuff. A third piece of hers that is in the pile. I've not opened this, so I actually don't know how much like is left. This is, but again, chart and the stitched piece. And this is, what is this? Scarlet Letter. Instructions for working the Martha Wilkins sampler of $16.99. So laser at? So there you go. $16.99. Oh God. And I mean, look at this. Each of these pages has like instructions for like seating and French knots, herringbone, running, Italian cross stitch, double running, stitch diagrams, and then it's like there's all these bands. So the bands are labeled A through Z, but then there's more bands than go past the letter Z. So then there's like A1, A2, A3, A4, A5, A6. The first letter for first and last names are worked in eyelet stitch in color O. We recommend you work your own name and the current date here. Don't tell me what to do. So, and these charts are just 1987, the Scarlet Letter, hand drawn, copied, absolutely atrocious. Here is these like exactly. No, these blown up colored, but I don't know, you know, again, I'm gonna have to figure out what threads. They look like DMC. I don't think she used silks. But these stitches are humongous. I'm seeing 2 over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2 over 5 for some of these. Look at this piece. And now looking at it, yeah, this might be a sale piece. So you can see why I just grabbed it. And I was like, oh, see how much is left. Maybe there's not a whole lot left, but if you're interested, I'll make this available. Yeah, because that's way too much for me to figure out, and more than... It'd be different if it was like almost fully done like those other two, but that's not the case. See, I haven't pulled this out and like really looked at it. So this is going into the for sale pile and will be listed when I come back from vacation. All right, so that's all I have stitching wise. Let's talk 1884. So today, the 23rd, is 7 years since I went live with 84. Seems way longer than 7 years, especially with all that's been accomplished and owning 11 companies and just awed by the whole thing. So thank you so much. As a thank you for the last few days and until the end of the month, until the 30th, I am running a 15% off your total order. Use the code as many times as you want. Year 7 will get you 15% off PDFs, everything. So make sure to use the drop down bar because I have so many pages dedicated to specific designers. You and I and friends. I have a whole tab, threads and more threads, fabric, Victoria Sampler, Just Nan, Kathy Barrick, Carriage House. I have a whole tab that is samplers. Theron Traditions, Sampler Recreations, a company that I own. The $2 charts. The Artsy Housewife. And then I've put up so much inventory from those 2 stashes. So kits and finished pieces. I have books and magazines, Elizabeth designs, Brenda Keys charts, all $5. Maura Blackburn charts. I have a box of 93 pieces of fabric. That's this here. 93 pieces of fabric, 32 count, and I know I marked it down. Cottage Garden threads, just so much, so much. Mill Hill beads, treasures. I have lots of those. So obviously this week that I'm gone, I'm going to get a lot of orders. So when I come back, if you have made multiple orders and I see, oh, Susan White made an order, I will go through and see if Susan has made any other orders, and then I will package all that stuff together, refund you on any previous shippings, and send it all out. So do not feel bad by making multiple orders and using the code. Just because the items are in your shopping cart does not mean that they cannot be taken out. They are not safe just because they're in your cart. The first person to check out wins. That's how it works. With my 7th anniversary sale, and I've also made it a birthday sale, new designs from companies that I own. Sheepish Antiques. This is Linda Foster. Love the colors. Absolutely gorgeous. Now this is a piece that is unlike really kind of anything, because, at least for Sheepish Antiques, there's 10 stitches and eyelets and rice, queen, stem, and satin. However, a lot of those you can just forego and just make regular cross stitch, and it's totally perfectly acceptable. These flower baskets here are, you do like embroider them, so instructions on here are great. So totally doable, step by step, show you how to do it. Don't be intimidated. So Linda Foster, PDF, paper copy. France F. Sampler. This is also from Sheepish Antiques. Just a handful of DMC are used on this piece. If you don't want to do the upper portion, you can clearly just stitch this. Sheepish Designs. This is the anonymous woman sampler. Really, really pretty, feminine. Sheepish Designs, Birds and Berries. Great for spring, something cheery. Again, DMC. Hillside Samplings, another of the companies that I own. Let Her Snow too, great for Christmas coming up. Oh God, it's already Christmas. Well, not yet, it's Thanksgiving. Let's get over Thanksgiving first. And Aura Latte Studio. And these are cats bookmarks. Now the thing with Aura Latte Studio, when you go to that page, you will see a message up at the top that all the Aura Latte Studio charts are available in PDF. However, there's like over 100 charts. So what I've done to make my life all a lot easier, you can tell me at checkout that you would want the cats chart in PDF. Fine. I will send you an email that you have provided and send you the PDF version of cats. Then I will go in, refund you the shipping, and we're squared away. So, however, if you buy cats, and you want it in PDF, but you have ordered other things that have to physically be mailed to you, I'll mail those things to you, but I will make sure to email you a PDF of whatever Aura Latte charts that you would want in PDF version. So keep that in mind. What else? John is back. I hear him putzing around. He's been good because, oh, you guys, his antics. It keeps me on my toes. So let's talk about back here. We'll talk back here. So, well, here, let's move it before come into here. So the entrance, and there is this wall from the closet door decor I need to still figure out. But this wall just had like, do I just hang stitched pieces like frame to frame? And then I'm like, no, I would want to switch them out. So enter these amazing, put a light on, IKEA shelves. Absolutely fantastic. Love them. These are what I had hanging in the house. So there's the shorter version and then the longer ones. And you can hang them next to each other and it just looks like one amazing flush piece. So I've hung 3 of the shorter ones here and have decorated them with some of my antique samplers. Let's see if we take, no, glare, doesn't matter. So this is a piece that I have yet to, what if I close it? I've yet to release. Is this Davies? Yeah, E. Davies. This is a Threads of Gold piece. Absolutely amazing with this whole like front yard scene. Really, really cool. Look at these wedding invites. This is the wedding I'm going to in May. Like, wood laser cut. I mean, come on. Let's see here. It's another Threads of Gold piece I have not released yet. Carolina Brandon, 1801. Just fantastic. This is the writing my grandfather wrote, 1884, which was then translated into my tattoo. So I have that framed up. My great grandmother was born in Italy in 1884, hence the name. This was a piece that I found. It's a cigarette case, but yeah, petite cross stitch on it. This I picked up at a antique thrift place in Colorado, and it's a makeup. So this pops down here and there's like a little powder puff in there with a mirror that's original, stitching on the front, some little hardware, but gorgeous. Angel from Texas. This is another Threads of Gold piece. Is this Dorothy Snowball? And that has been released. So that is available. Jane Dills, that is the stitch copy, not the original. So I have that hanging there. And then up above the closet, I installed one of the long shelves to display the antique samplers. So these all range in age from God knows what. But yeah, I keep them up there as a reminder of, get to me, put me out. I know this piece has been released. But yeah, just all kinds of goodness. And it keeps them out of the light and they're displayed. So up here, we have project bags, needle minders. Here's my hoop stand that I ever use. My extra backup collection of DMC thread. So I have the full set here, master set that I work from, but let's say, oh, I'm out of 760, then I come here and these are all my extras. So I've organized them in a way where these are all my 100s, 2s, 3s. Well, let's see. 300s. Oh, this is all under like 100. So like the 20s, the new stuff that came out, Ecru, Blanc, stuff like that. So yeah, I come in here and see and refill my collection of charts that I may want to stitch one day. Again, very, very minuscule because my likes change so much. Let's see, here are circular frames that I bought at Joann's during their clearance, little frames that I have. And this is all for finishing. So a clock from a thrift store wasn't working, but how amazing would that be to pop out the innards and make frames, my brass frames that I found for a frickin' steal. The boys over spring break went to New York, so they brought me back a globe. This is an order waiting to be shipped out. I do junk journaling. So my junk journal, Mr. Baxter. Let's see. This book here that I got for my birthday a couple years ago is information on my whole collection of my skulls, what I paid for the pieces, any sort of information. So it's all cataloged in here. And here is English Needlework, A.F. Kendrick. Copy, discard. So, not that I'll ever crack it open to read, which I should. I should thumb through it at least. My dad, good spot for him. My collection of scissors. When I was in Utah a couple years back, I went through a cemetery and did grave rubbings of all 1884. Painted that recently with Eritin. More framed ideas. This was a mirror that I got in Texas. I have to flip it around, otherwise get blinded by the sun. But it's a mirror, so pop that out. And a great way to finish. This wood one in the back. Frames. Packing stuff. Collection of books for inspiration or chart ideas. And then this is how I organize my threads. These are in 12 by 12 scrapbook boxes. So in here I have my set of weeks and classic color works, and I have them alphabetized and on multiple rings. And this is gassed and maybe crescent colors. So yeah. And this pink one, I just have like some silky ones, Petite Treasure braid, a few more of the inks, because I wasn't sure how many I would need for Mermaid's Folly. Step stool, and charts from Hillside Samplings. So Hillside Samplings is a company that I own, and when I took over ownership, I got sent a box, multiple boxes. So this is one of all the charts. So whenever I feel the mood, I kind of go shopping in there and see what I want to have next. This box here are all these stitched models for sampler recreations. So again, I can take new fresh photos of these stitched pieces when I want to get around to them. So I keep all of them in there. Paper for working. Let's see. These drawers are fantastic because they're so deep. Plastic bags, postcards, tags. Let's see. Receipts. Envelopes, tape. And then in here, I have more charts that will need to be reproduced. So all of my sheepish antique, sheepish designs. Here are those sampler recreation charts. Threads of gold. So again, when I feel in the mood to chart, these are 2 boxes. These are what I have left of inventory that still needs to be uploaded. Yeah. Oh, and then up above, some of you guys have been messaging me, what happened to all your skulls? I have them. They are all up here. Fit perfectly with a couple of my diamond paintings. So I have one skull on display downstairs in the kitchen. So this, I have like my geriatric skulls. There's Bo and Charlie, Oscar, and my 15th century one. My death mask, and then stuff from my medical cabinet, which was full here. So I brought this up here, and I want to display. I don't know if I'll put a skull or 2, or just do stitching in it. I'm not sure yet. If you have a pile with me, yeah, there you go. Your piles. So, if you are still with me at an hour and 12 minutes, thank you. So yeah, just a little tour, but yeah, this whole wall I had stacked up with boxes from both of those Stitchers lots, and I've been so busy putting up new inventory for you guys to purchase, and thank you so much for that. But now that this wall is starting to clear out the side of the wall room, I have more of those long shelves here. These, yeah, shelves. And I'm going to figure out how many I want on this wall so I can display more stitching. Because out here in the hallway, I have stitching up against the wall that's been there since I've been here. That needs to be out of the hallway, shifted, and up on the wall and displayed and enjoyed. Yeah. So, that is it. Again, 1884stitchery.com. Use the promo code YEAR7 for 15% off anything you want. Use it as many times as you want. I am recording this on the 23rd. So obviously it being a Sunday, I cannot package up any packages and take them to the post office. So anything that was ordered on the 22nd late in the day, from basically 12:30 on, will be dropped off when I get back from vacation, birthday celebrations, stuff like that. But I will still be working and doing emails and stuff. So if you have questions about anything, don't hesitate to get in contact with me some way. If you have a question about a chart or something like that, just let me know. Thank you guys so much for putting up with me for the last 7 years and the last hour and 15 minutes. I hope you guys have a great Sunday if you are watching this. But otherwise, you guys will see me soon and hopefully with some big finishes. Who knows? Bye, guys.